They're late, and Jeff. Well, I haven't talked to him. Yeah. Anyways, well, welcome, Chris, to the Globalpreneurs meeting this evening. Oops, I put that full screen. That. uh, and this evening, what we want to accomplish is that we want to use the Globalpreneurs TV, something that we created through the Global Council, the Mastermind, that I created a few months ago, bringing those 8 personalities in business together, where we want to accomplish a lot. Now, I know a lot of people said they would be joining late tonight, so they'll be joining later. So if you're there looking at the Global Council meeting from home, don't worry, there's more people coming. And right now, I am with the person that really is going to make an impact right now with the Globalpreneurs TV. Because I met Chris last week at a is it an event, Chris? Like that Rosa was doing. It's like an online.
Yes, well, it's a town hall conference is really what she's doing. So she does that every sort of week or so.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where we met each other. Is at the good old town hall conference online here.
Exactly. I think Rosa had planned to do the town hall meeting at the town hall, and then because it closed down, well, it went online, and that's how I got connected to Chris. And when Chris said what he was doing and what he was working on and how he wanted to help entrepreneurs, I was like, wow. I was asking to meet somebody exactly like Chris, and like he fit the profile of the person I needed to meet at that time. So we connected after that, and we decided to be collaborating because I know we can help us a lot with the Globalpreneurs and the Global Council, and help the entrepreneurs out there that need to share their message. Because, well, I'm just going to ask you, Chris, in a few minutes, how is it that you contribute to their success? And for me, well, for our organization, is that there's a lot of clients that we can bring to Chris, so that's helping his organization as well. And that's how we're collaborating, right?
Yes, most definitely. So
tell us, Chris, how you like. What is your gift? What is the gift that you have been given, where you can use this to help social entrepreneurs get more clients?
So I have a gift in spreading your message. So realistically, I love to spread your message. Whatever you guys got out there, whatever you guys are trying to build, and whatever you want to build, and whatever you are exceeding in building, my goal is to create those effective lead campaign and messages and email marketing and all the back end sort of work of everything that you sort of need on that side of things. Website designs is definitely my main focus. So creating sort of leads through generating websites and generating lead pages and all that stuff is where I come in, and how I can help you guys all make you thrive. So.
That's cool. That's cool, Chris. And it's cool that you're sharing it as well. And what we talked about earlier today, and I would really like us to do, is on the Globalpreneurs TV, we're going to show people, like, here's how you build your landing page. And we found, like, each of us by looking for and by knowing that some entrepreneurs that are starting, you don't have a big budget to start. So here's like tools that you can use, like MailerLite or Wix or WordPress, where you can design a website and it's going to cost you not much money.
Yes, a very effective budget. Yes, that's also part of my goal. Is I don't want anyone to be spending too much money more than they actually should.
Yeah.
Definitely recognizing that, and accompanying to your needs is what I do best. Customer service is like one of my highest standards. So being on that is a huge thing. So like you said, even creating with MailerLite, which is a completely free platform, by the way, up to 1,000 contacts, like that's amazing. It's such a great program and tool that probably so many people don't even know about or use, and you're paying nothing for it. So that's just where I want to help. I want to help be able to use tools and utilize things that are amazing tools that you're paying next to nothing for.
Yeah.
So it's just it's very innovative, and especially with the way that our world is changing rapidly with this whole crisis that is going on. It's necessary to make a change on creating how you get leads, how you manage your online world.
Yeah, exactly. And Chris, hi Matt, how are you?
Hey man, I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing great. We're just waiting on a few people, and Chris and I we just decided to start, and so we're live streaming right now on Facebook, on YouTube events, and on Twitch.tv.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome. And
Yeah.
Chris, I don't think you know Matt yet, so I'm going to introduce the both of you because I know that
Great.
both of you are bringing your love to the world and your heart, and you're creating so much value for the people that you help. So Matt, Chris we were just talking about building landing pages, and how can entrepreneurs, when they're starting, there's a lot of tools that they can find online to build their website, to build their landing page, to bring traffic to their services for almost no cost or even free, right, Chris?
Yes, and for very, very next to no cost. So it's just it's amazing some of the tools out there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and we're gonna teach that. We're gonna record a class, right, Chris, to teach people how to do it. And then
Yes.
Chris is a genius at social media marketing and building funnels and landing pages and all of that. So if people want to follow along and learn, they have this option, or if they want to use Chris to build it for them, then perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people online
Chris,
spending hours there now.
Yeah,
yes, exactly. That's exactly what I was just saying. I was saying time is now, especially with this crisis. So
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And Matt is the CEO of Switch Energy, which is a solar panel company, Chris. And I know
That's
you're going to
amazing.
connect well with Matt. They've been doing great in the community, and all about promoting sustainability and people to live at home, and how they can reduce their expenses for energy, and how can now their focus is working with home builders so that they can develop big projects together that are already using solar energy.
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah, I was just I met a young gentleman on a Zoom call yesterday whose his dream is to do trades related to sustainability. So I was thinking about you, Matt, so that I need to make the introduction.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think he has a large network, so probably his network can be of good service for Switch Energy.
What do you mean do trades, like stock market trades, or teaching installers?
I think he's more in the stock market trades and doing large, let's say I'm gonna buy $10,000 panels from you, or 10,000 installations, and being the person that's going to connect and make the trade go through.
Importing technology, I guess, is the way to say it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, bringing the technology in from China, more than likely.
Yeah.
And getting it to the end user. Yeah, I want to make a trip over to China really badly.
Mm-hmm. Have you been there before, Matt?
No.
Now's not the best time, but soon enough it will be.
Yeah. I wonder. I just need to wear my mask, don't I?
Exactly. And I don't know how you walk through the customs, but maybe we'll find a way.
Backwards.
Yeah. That's funny. I recognize your shirt, Matt. I used to listen to a lot of Rise Against.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
Yeah, that's good music.
Yeah. Punk rock.
So we're just waiting. I know that Rosa was coming, and Renetta said they would be late. So we just started the meeting anyways, and we're live streaming it. So we want to provide value to the people at home and see what we can do with the power of a mastermind when we connect our minds. How we can make a big impact in the future. And now our focus is all about the Globalpreneurs TV. So how can we use the TV? And we did some tests with Chris today. I want to do a test with you sooner than later, Matt, to be interviewing entrepreneurs and seeing how we can create value together, and how can we promote, let's say, the installation of solar panels. So how can this be valuable and profitable for homeowners, for property owners, for people who have commercial buildings? Like, how is it going to bring them value to install those solar panels?
Are you asking me that now?
Yeah, we can chat about that. I know that for people who
I have a
own
quick question though.
properties- Was
Yeah.
that what it is?
I said I have a quick question already for Matt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
So my quick question is right off the top of my head. So like I have a pool, for example, in the backyard. Is it more beneficial to heat the pool by like solar panels than a house, or is it beneficial to do like a home than?
Definitely, it's efficient to heat it because the majority of the time that you're using that pool is in the summer, where you're actually producing the most electricity through the panels. The other way to heat that pool, though, could be using solar thermal or solar hot water. The solar hot water is where you'll see sometimes it'll be like curls, like the tube will be on a roof surface, and the water will travel through the pump into that long set of curled wires. It's oftentimes 2 sets, and through that the sun warms up the water inside the tube and then pumping it into the pool. So you're not using electricity the same way, you're just using the thermal energy from the sun. The other option would be to power the pool heater with the electricity from solar PV. So there's kind of a couple, 2 different options really for heating a pool when it comes to solar. If you wanted to use the electricity side, then it's probably a better idea to go with PV for the whole house as well as the pool, as opposed to just doing something for the pool individually, which probably makes more sense if you're using the solar thermal hot water system.
Oh, that makes sense. I sort of understand where you're going with that, but I didn't even know that that's such a thing, that you can use hot water to heat it, like based on what you.
Yeah, just using the sun's energy. You'll often see them on garages, not so much on houses where it's the solar hot water, because it's oftentimes like it'll be a pool shed or something near the pool, just a bit closer. That's typically been my experience from what I've saw so far, where I noticed them. Right, obviously for me being in the solar industry, I just am drawn towards roofs now.
Yeah.
Roofs everywhere.
Do you find that you're getting more roofs clients? Like, are you doing a lot more roofs nowadays for solar energy? Like, are people starting to make that switch? Like, I know it's been a lot of talk and a lot of transition of people actually considering it, but I haven't really heard too many people on actually committing on doing it.
Well, so you're correct. It is still very low adoption. What's happening, though, is awareness is high. People are starting to learn and hear more and more and more about renewable energies, wind and solar and others, but the wind and solar are the 2 most popular. And solar, I think, has the most awareness. And as awareness continues to increase, meaning education continues to go up, more and more people start to make, their own educated decisions towards doing something like that. Because it's a technology, it follows a little bit, it follows the law of diffusion of innovation, really, right? So you to get over into mainstream adoption, we have to get ourselves up to, a significant portion of the population that are actually using it. Because we're in a position where, if you think about most technology adoption, you can actually show people what it is that you're using. So you can be with your friend and show them your new phone and talk about it. Whereas with solar, the price point is high. It's not like an electric vehicle that you're driving around and people see it and talk to you about it. It sits there on your roof. It doesn't do anything, right? So although it's cool and fancy technology, people just don't see it the same way unless they're coming over. And that's why, from our standpoint, we decided that working with home builders was a really good route to go, because those home builders are the trusted resource in the marketplace. Meaning, typically we use our friend, someone who we know, like, and trust. We have to have enough of our friends that verify this thing is worth it for us to make that purchase. But because solar technology is more expensive, it's not the $1,000 iPhone or whatever that is, it's got a higher price tag on it. And we have a lower number of adoption. It takes a bit longer to have a group of friends that all tell you should go solar. So what we realized is that if we could get a bunch of home builders to talk about it, that would be enough of influential early adopters that the masses, as they're driving around in new neighborhoods, if they drive into a new neighborhood or they're driving around a city and they see 10 different home builders with a model home that has solar on the roof, it makes them say, this is something I should probably look into, because the home builders know the things that should go in a home, and because they have it on their home, I should probably look at it as well. I should be open-minded to it also. So that's the direction that we've taken as a business. It's working very well, but we're also still very early. I'm playing this for the long game. I'm not playing in solar to get rich tomorrow. I knew that what I needed to do in this space was, take a leadership position. I had to influence influencers to adopt it. And I knew that it was going to be something that, if I want to get a fully electrified economy built, it's going to take me a while, and I need to influence the right people to help that path be created, right? Although people know it exists, they don't understand it. They still think there's other ways, and they pay their hydro bill kind of automatically. And it's what they've always done.
Yeah.
So we're trying to change their perception and get them to adopt something that, although they still pay for that electricity, there becomes a point where they no longer pay for it, right? It's an asset that they own, and the sun doesn't send a bill.
Yeah. It is really time that we use the energies that the planet is giving us to power ourselves and stop the pollution, carbon zero. Maybe it would take like a selfie competition, Matt, with people taking like, this is me and my solar panels. But it's a good idea. I feel like, this is your low hanging fruit, is those people who are builders who are building those homes. They'll put the panels out there, and now there's going to be demand, more and more demand for it, because people see that new developments are using those solar technologies. And it's all about efficiency, reducing your cost over the long term, and using what the planet is giving us. That's awesome.
And we know that in 5 days, the amount of energy that hits the Earth is enough. Like it's all the energy that we have trapped in the fossil fuels is all in 5 days from the sun. We capture all of that energy.
Wow. Wow. Let's get
So
on it.
there's an abundance of free energy that hits the planet every day. Every hour there's enough energy that hits the earth to power our whole world for a year.
Wow. It's
The problem is we just don't
use it.
collect it.
Wow.
It's available, we just don't collect it.
Yeah.
And then the next part is storing it. So it's available to collect. Then it becomes, how do we store it to be able to be used when the sun isn't shining? And that's the next great breakthrough that's happening right now, which is being driven, I guess pardon the pun, by electric vehicles.
True.
Right? The electric vehicle adoption is driving battery storage costs down. Because what people don't realize is we'll use Tesla for example. They're the most well-known electric vehicle company in the world. Yeah. Every Tesla car has 3 days of house energy in it. Right? Think about that. Yeah. So I can plug my Tesla car into my home. I could power my home for 3 days with that car.
That's amazing. And that's in one battery, one set of batteries. Like, technology evolves so much.
They have about a 90 kilowatt, kind of on average, 90 kilowatt hour battery inside those cars.
Amazing. Amazing.
So you think about now.
And Matt, just 1 second, Matt, because Rosa joined us and Renata, so we want to say hello. Hello,
oh, yes. Yeah. I didn't want to interrupt because that topic is like really cool.
Interesting, eh?
Matt, Rosa and Renata, Matt is the CEO of the company called Switch Energy, who's a solar panel company in Ottawa. And he's
I'm sorry, what's your name?
Matt.
Matt.
I'll actually change my name here. See, it says
Switch Energy. I didn't want to call you Switch.
I'll answer to that though.
Yeah.
Hey, Switch.
Well, Switch sounds like maybe he has superpowers or something, especially with the energy from the sun.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That is so cool. I mean, I've heard a little bit about it and I've researched as well, but I often wondered why we are not doing more with it. Yeah. It's there.
Yeah, me too.
You know?
Yeah, because people are not aware yet, and that's what we were just discussing, is they know it exists, but then are homeowners ready to make the investment that's going to cost them like a few tens of thousands of dollars, where it's going to pay off long term and it's going to reduce their electricity bill, and it's a smart investment, but then it's asking people to make a change. And people sometimes don't want to make the change.
But what's needed is education, because when we educate people, it takes about 7 touch points to get the information through, but it's required. So education has to start way ahead of the sale.
Yes.
And so let me get on your education team, Matt.
We're an education company.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always wanted to put a solar panel on my, roof. So
Well, now you have a good contact for that, Renata.
No, I know exactly.
I have to excuse myself for a minute, everybody. My daughter's crying. I've woken her up. I'm moving to a different room too.
Yeah. Matt has a newborn daughter. So.
She'll be a year old on the 12th actually.
Wow.
Oh my baby.
So nice.
Amazing.
So Chris and I were talking about building those funnels, a landing page, bringing traffic to the light workers like we are, and helping the people online that are listening as well. And then Matt came in and we talked about his company. Now he's using the energy from the sun, and for them that's how they love to work. Maybe we're going back to the time where the Mayas were we don't know what the technologies that disappeared over time were used in the past, right?
Is this his company, Guillaume?
Yes.
And how long has he started this?
I believe it's about 3 years now that they're in business.
And he said he's in Ottawa?
Yeah, they're in Ottawa. And now what they've done is doing a lot of education for the public. Like, here's how good it is for you to use solar panels, and here how good it is for the environment and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then what they realized that they had, like, it still took a long while, even with the education that they were giving, to convince people to buy them. So now they're focusing on partnering with home builders and big developers to build those big projects that are going to have solar on, like, let's say we build 200 homes and there's going to be solar panels on all of them.
Built in, exactly, so that it comes with it. Actually,
Yeah.
this is a very smart idea, because
But you see, what they haven't thought about is how to train the salespeople.
Yeah.
Here's where part of the problem is.
Uh-huh.
They're hiring salespeople who are normal salespeople. That
Yeah.
doesn't work. They want to make a sale. You
I
can't
know,
want to make a sale in that industry. You've got to want to educate.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Because the more educated I am, the more I will research it and then start talking about it with my neighbors and my family, and then move people towards you.
Mm.
So that there's we gotta form a team where we educate salespeople,
Yeah.
because in different sectors, sales is different, right? If
Yeah,
you're
but-
selling a gadget, sales is easy.
Yeah.
But if you're selling
He
something
was
like
saying,
that,
yeah, he was actually telling us some interesting facts about it. Actually, it's really, really cool. And honestly, I think it's quite memorable, like everything he said about, again, the amount of energy that we actually receive. And it is actually really, really powerful when you have these facts. And again, it's how you present them so that they are memorable.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I heard. Like, do you know, interesting facts, so and so.
so we've got to really promote him and get him on stages.
Yes.
And oh my, wouldn't I love to help him do that?
Absolutely. And I think
I'm always offering to do something new.
well, I think it's happening right now, Rosa, and we can all help Matt, and we can use the Globalpreneurs TV to be helping promote solar panels and getting people aware of facts like you just said, Renetta, like that just on one car battery you can power a home for 3 days, and that the sun in 1 week will produce enough energy that all the other carbon energies that we're using, it's like a thing of the past, because the sun is providing enough for us.
But this is the perfect time to
Yeah.
do this,
Absolutely.
right,
Yeah.
Chris? This is the perfect time, because people are only now awake to the fact that we have been messing up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now it's perfect time.
And
Actually.
you
So,
can say-
another interesting fact. I can actually send you an article or something that been measuring. Geologists have been measuring the Earth's crust,
Yeah.
and ever since the coronavirus crisis or whatever it is,
Measuring
actually
the what? Measuring the what?
measuring the Earth's core
Yeah.
and the crust. The Earth's crust.
The Earth. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And there is a very noticeable change in terms of the vibration
Mhm.
ever since the coronavirus started. And each year they've been noticing that around Christmas for a week. But now it's decreased so much. And actually the whole noise, the Earth, the frequency
Yeah.
is decreased a lot because of all that additional noise and vibration. It's not there anymore.
Mm.
So I found that really interesting.
Isn't it so beautiful? Oh, this is information we've got to gather. Actually, as a group, this would be really vital information for us to start compiling, so that we become a resource
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
people, right?
Yeah.
Because today we had a networking group meeting at 8 o'clock this morning. And here's another thing we need to get stats on. So I start the group, I'm the chair, so I start the group with not a meditation, but a deep breathing. And I ask somebody who is an energy worker to do it for us. Guillaume, I always like to include other people, right?
Yes.
And I like pretend I do everything. No. So she did it. And here's what Alan said, because he now has the charts to be able to measure the frequency. The frequency was 10,000, whatever that is. And after the deep breathing, it rose to 20,000.
Oh my God. Wow. It's so simple. And it's like...
So simple. So now you guys see why I start every meeting with a deep breathing or a meditation.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
I don't care what the corporate world does. This needed to have happened years ago. So it's like, okay, I'm doing it now.
Yeah. Yeah. The time is perfect now.
Yeah. We have free permission to do things from our heart, from our soul, from the spirit, from the source right now to lift everybody's vibration. So we got to gather stats and information on all of this and keep it handy so that when we're promoting anything, we can say, hey, wait a minute, I have something that you might be interested in hearing so you can understand it better. Here's this, I'll send it to you.
Yeah. And that's so important, Renata. Like, I'm very curious, but I tend to overlook details like that. And you see, like, Renata was like, I know her personality, and like Renata, like, if you give her stats like this, like, she's very excited and she's going to be interested.
Renata would be great at it.
Yeah.
I don't know. The thing is that it's not like necessarily the stats or anything like that, but it's the image, the impact. That is
where the stats give the impact. You have to have stats to have impact.
True. Yeah.
You can't just talk nice. I've been talking nice for years. Okay. And I realized that just lasts for like a second.
Yeah, that's
true. You in the moment, and then there's no stats to back it up. So we need the warmth and fuzzy, and we need the stats.
Exactly.
Oh my God, Chris, take a few notes, because we're like, for the website for the Globalpreneurs, like, we're gonna put stats, because what we're doing. It's all about sustainability, and we're promoting sustainability. And now we have the chance to have Matt on the call, he's not there because he's with his daughter, but
he's gonna bring his daughter back.
And it's awesome to be able to help companies and organizations that are promoting sustainability, and how we can help them is by being a resource where people can learn about how to live sustainably, how they can build projects that are going to bring sustainability, how they can get involved as well. Maybe they'd like to go promote in their communities the use of solar panels, and then they become the best salesperson for Matt's team.
Well, exactly. So here's how we can create tons of new jobs.
Yeah.
Because these are like in constant creation as we talk about these ideas, right?
Yeah.
Research what are the needs,
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because so many people
Here
will be left without.
Is it a girl? Well, is it a girl or boy?
Girl.
It's a girl.
It's a girl?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, little girl. Her name's Ava.
Ava. Hi, Ava. Look how many people are here to play with you.
Yeah.
Oh my. I want to show her something funny. I don't have something.
That's funny.
Show her something colorful.
Yeah.
And Matt, you just, like, while you were away, we were being so creative and connected with the mastermind about, like, and Rosa was suggesting, like, okay, well, we need to talk to the sales team to be there to support them and be able to give them content and education, and then push this into a platform to teach the people. And Renata was sharing some of the stats that you gave that she was truly interested about. Yeah, that was powerful. Like,
we were already on your team. We want to be either part of the training for education for salespeople, because your salespeople can't be ordinary salespeople. They've got to educate, right?
Yeah, that's our primary driver as a business. Is we're an education company.
Yeah,
education, sales, and marketing.
Yeah. So we've got to get you out on the public, the forum. We've got to get you training because you are so knowledgeable and so articulate in sharing your information. So we got to get you help to do the other work so you can be front and center with education and training, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and then the sales come automatically in the back end. So the real focus is on the training about this amazing technology that the sun is providing to us, or that God or the universe has given us. And the sales for the solar panels are just happening automatically in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely something that takes a lot of education first and foremost, because awareness is very high, and it's making it simple, right? It's taking down there's a lot of misinformation. People have beliefs based on previous experiences that it's only for the rich. It's very, very expensive. It's you get one of the major questions we get often is making money from it. How do I make money from it? And it's not a money-making thing. We pay for electricity anyways. So instead of renting it from the current dirty electricity grid, why don't you make an investment into owning it and pay off that asset in an 8-year period of time to a 10-year period of time, and then you own it outright and you no longer are charged for electricity the same way.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. And
what
are some of the...
You've had your turn, it's my turn to talk. Yeah.
She's wondering what's happening, where are all these people coming
where are
from?
all these people in my living room? Hi. Hi.
And what are some of the benefits, Matt, that you've seen with solar energy compared to electricity that's available in most of the countries that we live in? It
saves people money. So if we're thinking about North American population, it saves people money to own and operate their own electricity producing asset on their roof, both from a commercial standpoint or residential, industrial scale, doesn't matter. It all saves them money. But if you think about developing countries, one of the major value adds there is it allows them to skip over the traditional energy infrastructure. They can go from, there's mommy. They can go from no electricity or electricity from burning wood or burning animal dung or not having any power to actually having a electricity producing asset on their roof that gives, it can be very small, doesn't need to be big. They don't have a high power demand in the first place. And that one solar panel, for example, and a small inverter and a battery can change a family's life.
Wow.
Drastically. They now can see at nighttime and continue to do homework. And when we think about the countries that lack electricity still, they're around the equator for the most part.
Yes.
Yes, isn't that ironic?
Countries in the world are closest to the equator. And it doesn't need to be that way anymore.
Right.
We have a simple solution that's cost effective and delivers incredible results. They can have light, they can have electricity to give them an internet connection. Now they have education.
That's phenomenal, yeah.
Right? There's exponential impact effect from electricity.
So it also has to do with, I don't even think educating is the right word, because I think that they have the education, political influencers. Because they have the power to influence business, to invest, right, to get this thing going.
Yeah.
So that's one target market.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's we had Catherine McKenna, who used to be Minister of Environment. She was in our office during the campaign last year, and she did a press conference from our office. And it was Mom just came in the room, and then Mom left to the bathroom. So.
Oh right. Yeah. Like with
Kayla is still breastfeeding. So yeah. Thankfully, she's not crying a lot. So Catherine spoke from the office, and it was about committing to net zero by 2030, which is Canada's proclamation. And reporters were hammering her after the press conference because they didn't really have any solutions on how are we actually getting there.
Exactly.
We're going there, and we commit to getting there, but they had no plan on like how are we making this reality.
Yeah, yeah.
I have a comment for that.
And
You finished.
Yeah.
And after she did the press conference, we spoke with her afterwards and kind of gave her some more insight on what it costs for solar, for residential, that kind of thing. But then we went through some of the policy problems that are impacting the adoptability for your average homeowner or average business. And the next day, Trudeau spoke. We don't know if what we said to Catherine is what got to Trudeau, but sure seems like it, because pretty much everything we said is what he said from the podium was an $40,000 interest-free loan for solar or an energy retrofitting. And then, just a bunch of the stuff, reducing monthly costs from the hydro companies and doing all kinds of things to basically exactly what we said to them, which was pretty cool. And we don't know for sure if Catherine ran and told Justin everything that Switch Energy said to her, but it sure seemed like it.
Right, yeah.
That's
I'm
awesome.
pretty sure because they all want to look good in this time.
Yeah.
Remember, they're dying for the light to shine on them at this time, right?
Yes.
And I mean, Rob Ford is just shining like he's never shone before.
True.
It shows how much of a community man he is and a family man. Because I would say for the first time, we're seeing how he cares.
Yeah,
right?
I would agree.
Most times it's just purely about business deals and all of that, so he doesn't get a chance to show it, but he has the opportunity, and I love it. I think it's wonderful that they get to shine, so showing their soft side, their humanistic side.
And you know why they're shining, Rosa, is because Matt and Solar Energy did what they're doing best, and it's educating. So you educated the government, and now they decided to make something.
Well, exactly. That's why they took it so fast the next day to the public. That's what I'm saying, right? Because they are looking for things to make them shine.
Yeah.
So good job, Matt. Keep doing that. We need to get to the politicians.
Which has been good. We've also brought the Conservative Party. We brought them to one of our solar installs on a farm, actually.
Yeah.
Which had a big impact, obviously. And then we had another meeting with some of the Conservative leaders and the new energy minister, and had a bunch of farmers there. There must have been about 50 farmers, probably angry farmers, actually, as we like to call them. And a lot of them,
what do you call them?
Angry farmers.
Angry farmers. Oh.
And they're angry because of the control that's placed upon them and the limiting. Like a lot of them aren't able to go and put solar on their house or on their businesses because of it's capacity. So the hydro companies, they limit the amount of customers that can actually put solar on, and the reason they do it is because of policy from a decade ago. And they believe that the technology which was used 10 years ago, and it made sense 10 years ago, but now the technology is caught up and it does what's necessary, which is so automatically, if the power goes out, they need to make sure that there's no electricity running from the solar array into the grid. Because if you have a technician working on the line, that technician could be electrocuted. So we need to have something called a loss of phase, like an automatic shutdown. Well, that exists now. It didn't exist 10 years ago.
That makes sense.
So there shouldn't be a capacity problem anymore. But
so you're gonna have to get yourself invited to some discussions with the policymakers as well.
yep.
Yeah.
Well, I think the fastest way to change, the fastest way to change and get people to want solar panels is to go through politicians, and because they're the ones who make the policies. And let's say you go, we send you on a plane, Matt, to Central America to go do a conference and bring the leaders together to be making a decision. Now we're gonna give the power to the people that don't live in the cities, and we want to bring them power, and then we create a movement around it, and something something that goes viral, that people are going to want to start backing this and go talk to organizations to be sponsoring the project, that have something to gain by working in those communities.
Yeah, there's organizations that do that already, and one of them that you guys would know is Leonardo DiCaprio put $10 million into an organization called Kingo. So think bingo, but with a K. Yeah. And Kingo already deploys over 7,000 micro solar systems a month into rural communities in Central America.
Wow, awesome.
Yeah, so it costs them about $8 US to get the system onto a roof, and then it's about 200 and change for the solar array and the battery and the inverter.
Wow, that doesn't sound like $10,000.
No, exactly.
Oh, yeah. And the perception, you were right. Yeah, it is like in the tens of thousands.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's in the tens of thousands in North America because we're energy hogs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So here is a different system, or like why is it so different?
Well, because they have zero power. Mm-hmm. And so rural Guatemala, for example, a lot of the people that live there don't have any electricity at all. Mm-hmm. Or rural Ecuador, right? So there's a lot of places in the world that still don't have it, and that Kingo focuses on the people who lack access to electricity.
Mm-hmm.
So I have a question, Matt. My mind is just going for solutions. I just can't help this. I'm so excited with this. Isn't there an advisory board to the government on climate change?
Yeah.
You should be on that advisory board. I mean, I know it's not easy to get on, but.
Yeah, well, there's that angle. But I also honestly try not to focus on the climate change conversation.
Okay.
Because it's regardless, yes, we should get our carbon emissions down to zero, but do I know that for sure? All I'm hearing is hearsay from somebody. Like I'm not an expert in climate, right? So I don't want to position myself that way. What I would rather say is technology always improves, and we used to use horses and stones to grind our flour, right? Or we used to have steam engines, and then we moved to the internal combustion engine, and right. So we didn't leave the Stone Age, for example, because we ran out of stones. We left the Stone Age because technology.
Oh, that's a good example.
It's the same system now.
Yeah.
Producing electricity from a coal plant 500 miles away from my house, although it used to be fantastic and it got us to where we are today, thank you very much, we now have a better way of doing it, which once I set that better way on my roof, it just literally sits there. That's why these solar companies, they offer 25-year warranties or 30-year warranties standard. What else do you get a 30-year warranty on? Maybe roofs. And the reason that you get a 30-year warranty on your roof is because it doesn't move. It just sits there and lives. Mm-hmm. Solar is the exact same thing. These companies are giving these incredible long-term warranties because the thing just sits there and works. Like we all use the solar-powered calculator when we were in elementary and high school.
And they still work.
How about storage? How is it stored? Like, because I know that there has to be a specific type of battery and.
Well, there's multiple types of batteries. There's things like the lithium ion side, and then there's zinc, there's lead acid, like the car battery. And then we're now starting to have companies that are getting into storing the energy in hydrogen or solid state. And then we're also getting into things like, so there's a company that has a battery system that during the day when the sun's up, it actually lifts up these incredibly heavy stones and piles them. And then at nighttime, it lowers those stones down. And that's as those stones go from up here to the ground, obviously there's energy. Okay? Yeah. So there's all kinds of things that are coming. It is actually the most heavily funded sector of renewable energy is energy storage at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
And
how long can you store it? Like, for example, for a house, like for home purposes, like when there is sunshine during the day, for how long can you store the energy, and how does it work in terms of when there isn't enough or there is oversupply?
Well, if we're talking about a lithium ion battery, again, we can use Tesla Powerwall, for example, or a Panasonic battery or an LG battery, lithium ion batteries. With enough of them, so you could stack 3 Tesla Powerwalls together and have energy storage to run pretty much everything in your house with zero sunshine for 2 to 3 days.
Mm. That's awesome. Thanks, Mark, for sharing that. We'll do like a full show on the solar panels soon. Yeah. And thank you everybody for joining tonight. So tonight, let's put a bit of focus now. We talked a lot about solar energy because we're all about sustainability, and we want. We know that being sustainable is going to make our lives better, humanity better, and the lives of the people around us better as well. And now we just launched a TV show, the Globalpreneurs TV, and now we have people online watching right now. We had a few people comment earlier, and that's so cool. That's so cool that we can be at home, everybody, and we're streaming on different platforms. We tested it today. We tested it this week. We tested it this afternoon with Chris and Renita. We have like multiple people talking, and we're streaming to people around the world. They can watch from home. While we're talking, they can ask questions, they can participate to the conversation. We can do a global mastermind, and that's what we're doing right now, is masterminding with the world. So how cool is technology for that?
That is awesome. Could you tell us on where we're streaming right now?
Right now, we are streaming on Facebook. We're streaming on YouTube. We're streaming on YouTube events, and we're streaming on Twitch.tv. And we're just waiting for approvals to be streaming on LinkedIn as well. And there's other platforms that we're looking at where we want to share those videos so that we can have more and more people, make it easy for them to interact with us and participate in the discussions that we have, because it's all about improving humanity and the lives of everybody. So we feel that everybody should be participating. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so awesome. Good job. Yo.
Well,
you
good
did
job
it.
to everybody.
It's amazing, yes.
Yeah,
you did it. In such a short space of time.
Yeah.
You know?
Very short, yeah.
Yeah.
They've been working on something, but this is really, really cool that it's happening.
This is so, and you have young people like Chris with us now. Chris, welcome to the team.
Yeah.
So nice to have you.
And Chris came in through you, Rosa, like from an event that you were doing.
And I said to him, I said, look, I promise you amazing connections. I said, that's one of the few promises I can make and keep.
Yeah.
And so here you are. Right?
Yeah. Everybody here has a gift, and Rosa, for you, is to connect people and really connect people, like will heart-to-heart connect, and that is amazing. And that's an amazing gift that you have to build communities.
Thank you. But what's more exciting is getting the young people together with us on the one team, so that we have the brilliance of the young mind with the expertise of the more mature minds. And imagine bringing those two together, how much faster our vehicle can go, right?
Absolutely.
It's like acceleration.
Exactly. Young minds are typically very dealing easily with technology, and then what comes out, like, they'll understand it right away. While for older people like me, or
Like you, what about me?
like me,
Like you.
well, it's a different skill set that we've
It
developed,
is.
and we can
Yeah.
contribute like that, and we have people like Ted, who's not with us tonight, but the gentleman is an inventor, and he has so many patents under his name, and it's so good to be able to contribute with people like that. So everybody has a different skill set and a different gift that they can offer to the group, to the community. So we're really, really blessed to have all of you on board. And we're blessed to have the people at home as well, because we know that if you're watching this from home, there is something that you're really, really good at and passionate about that you can share to the community, to be contributing so that we can be creating together.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, Aaron is interested in learning more, so I'd like to get you and Aaron talking.
Yes, we're talking
because
tomorrow.
He's got all access to all these young people.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they're going to be very excited to get involved with contributing to the world with their music. I mean, they can create all the music we want,
Exactly.
And Chris can be working with them so that he can help design the right music for the right theme of the website and the videos, and so that I could see the big picture of the whole thing, right?
Yeah.
But we need people to actually do the various tasks. So you and me, Guillaume, are really big picture thinkers.
Exactly.
Like pulling the scenes together. It's like, who's going to do it?
Yeah. Well, you can't just have on a team. You can't just have chiefs, right? You need like a lot of a lot of people.
Indians. We need a lot of Indians.
Yeah, exactly.
All sides.
Exactly.
All sides of the story.
Yeah. Renata, what were you going to say?
I actually wanted to say that I also really like the idea of actually creating a resource, right? Resource of like information in between us, because that can be very, very useful, for people, for businesses, for the connections as well. That's your idea. And I think maybe we should explore that a little bit further as well.
A new what? Sorry?
A resource, right? That you mentioned earlier, yeah.
Exactly.
So I think we'll have to think exactly how, but that I think it is really useful.
Yeah.
Could be useful for businesses and for people to connect as well.
Yeah.
And I also was thinking again, because of the idea of actually making things happen. I was thinking about when. Like even at Kennedy's time, when they were asking the question, how can we get the person to go to the moon and bring him safely back to Earth, right?
Yeah.
So the answer was, again, the will to do it, right? So the same like with solar energy, the same with any of the other projects. So that's really what it takes, right? And that's really the driving force.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we need to develop a strong resource, and we also need to get going on that good news channel, radio, TV, podcast, everything.
Yeah.
So because right now we have so much good news, we have got to share it.
Exactly.
We have an
so much
obligation, a
content.
responsibility, right?
Yeah.
And here's one person we need to get on our team. I keep talking about him. I'm going to write him and see if he replies. And Lee Harris, I keep talking about?
Yes, you talked about him last week.
He's an energy intuitive, and he keeps giving us information every single month about raising the vibration and about the awareness of the planet shifts and how it's impacting us on a daily basis.
That is so cool. And now we can share this, raise the vibrations on this channel. And
Exactly.
we can even connect with Aaron and see, like, look, the best way to raise the energies is through music. because of the vibrations of music. And what I hear in the background has been done for the last few hundred years is keep the vibration low in the music and control the music industry so that people vibrate at a low energy. But now that we can control this, now's the time to bring back the classical music with the high vibrations, where we can raise the life of people around the world.
Yeah, and we've got to get like young writers, music writers, big composers, because Mozart and Beethoven and all those guys are great, but we need some new stuff to match the new age.
Yes.
Right? This is another age that we're living in, and we definitely need matching vibration, because music is vibration.
Yeah.
And my guru keeps talking about the sound Om. Is not really OM, it's A-O-M, it's A-O-M. Right? So, and that is the sound of the universe. So he says everything that creates dynamics in our life is from sound. And that is a study in and of itself.
I'm taking notes on that, Rosa. That's amazing.
I could send you the video where he explains what Om means and why I can't say Om anymore, because now I understand it's Om.
Wow.
So when you open your mouth, and then you go, and then you just form it U, and then you just form it it makes the right sound. You don't have to go O, You just shape your lips to the three sounds, and it sounds
beautiful.
Oh, beautiful, yeah.
Beautiful.
Right? And if we all do it together, that's raising the vibration. And there is a practice he gives us to do for 20 minutes every day, and just doing that Om sound for 20 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Heals all kinds of things in our bodies and minds.
Amazing. So this needs to play in the background when you go at a mall or when you're in the elevator. Like the music that's playing needs to raise the vibration.
Grocery store.
Yeah. Like right now, instead of them telling us every 5 minutes, stay 6 feet away, play that in the background, and you will just automatically do it.
It's so easy. It's so amazing that together we're just on the footstep, or we're just on the step of a new age. And as Matt said earlier, like we didn't leave the Stone Age because we ran out of stones, and now, like because of the virus and what's happening, well, we're just on the verge of this society based on competition and just profits and productivity because of the virus. And this could be coming from God, the universe, whatever, but is going to be a shift. And we're just the people that are seeing that there's a shift, and now we can do something about it, and we can create a new age together. And I don't know how we'll call it, and maybe it's the Aum age.
Exactly, we don't know. But wait till I send you that video where he explains the sound of Om and what it means, and being the universal sound that vibrates the entire universe. So the power of that is immense. Talking about investors that would be interested in an idea like solar energy, I listened to an amazing young man today on Manny Lopez event. Anybody knows of Manny Lopez? Oh my God, another pure heart. He's young. He's a millennial. He's young. I can't remember if it's 24 or what, but he's young, 21, 24. And he's bringing amazing people together and showcasing them. And he's helping to build homes for orphans, because he is an orphan. So the person, one of the 3 people he brought in the last 3 days, today is Dan Fleischman, F-L-E-Y-S-H-M-A-N.
I know Dan.
You know him?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. He's the youngest founder of a public company, and the amount of companies he's invested in, and he tells us how he does it. Like And they ask him, how can you do so much in such a short, like in one day, in 1 week? How can you? And he says, I have group chats. He says, everything is a group chat.
Yeah.
And he says, I don't take the time to go on all these tracking project management tools. Guillaume might like to hear that because we were bugging him about it. Because he says it takes too long.
Yeah.
He says the process is too long. So when he has a
Exactly.
group chat, he gets a yes or no. And if he says, okay, all 26 of you attended today, send me your business plans. He said the truth comes out because only 2 people have business plans.
Right.
So he just eliminated 24. So it's like the fast track way to move forward and get business done.
Yeah.
Somebody like Dan, Matt, I think wouldn't he be the type of person that might be interested in hearing about the future of this company with solar energy?
Would he be interested? Yeah, maybe.
I'm just thinking because he really wants to contribute to the world. He wants to see people take up a project and do something. You should stop talking about it, just do something.
We'll get him on the show then, Rosa. And
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I would love to, but I just am curious to know what Matt thinks of him. If you say you know him, you might have some background about.
Yeah, he's in the U.S., right? In Orlando.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like.
You never know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's just.
Yeah. He knows of solar already, so.
Yeah. He's just one of those people who never has enough to do. So he obviously understands that we don't have to manage time. What we do is manage energy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And that was a theoretical concept for me. But this is the first year that I've got it. It's like, oh, wow, the light went on. It's like, what's this craziness about managing time? We'll never be able to manage time.
So are you saying that we're canceling Trello and it's taking too much time from the the project management is over. So back to group chat and back to making decisions quickly and then moving forward.
Yeah, I just made Guillaume really happy, Matt, because we've been tossing that around and it's like, okay, you know what? That really got me. I said, I must tell Guillaume that because there is no time.
Yeah.
Truth is, there is no time to play with, right?
It's time for change. We are change makers, so we don't wait for people to tell us that we can make a change now. It's just happening. And as you said, like, well, let's connect with Dan and Manny and like let's collaborate because this industry of competition and like, oh, I'm doing this, or like let's build like 2 separate communities and let's build our fans and followers and blah blah blah. Like that's too slow and like why not just do it together and then make an impact like that?
Yes, I agree.
And Matt, for you, like, let's connect with Leonardo DiCaprio and like let's do it together and let's go install those solar panels.
Yeah. And there's this other conference
with Leo, so I'm in.
What's that?
Yes, I want a selfie with Leo, so yeah, I'm in.
Oh my God. Awesome. I mean, Leo is just, I love that guy. He's just always been authentic.
Yeah,
that's how I found Kingo in the first place. And I spoke with their CEO and some other people in that company high up there. That's me.
Oh, actually, I do have to go. Lee Harris is having a webinar right now, and I'm late.
That's awesome. Well, we're already done anyways in practicality, but that's good. It's just seeing how we can collaborate with those people that are already doing something. Well, let's just do it with them and see how Matt can help Leo and Kingo on their mission to install those solar panels. Well, instead of saying like, we're gonna go start a movement to install solar panels there, well, just go see how you can help them. And we're going to give them solar panels. We're going to go help with the installation, whatever. Yeah. Now it's truly collaboration and it's truly creating together as we're supposed to do.
Yeah. And just one quick question before I go. Didn't we talk about a mentorship program at one point? Or was that in my head?
God, that is sexy. Do a mentorship program. We should do that.
We should have a mentorship program.
Yeah. We should match young entrepreneurs with like a mentor where they can.
Like Chris is right here. Chris has been telling me things that indicate that he really appreciates the mentoring he's been getting from us as a group. Right, Chris?
Yes, most definitely. It's a fun call that I've been on, especially with both of you, have been very beneficial. I end up learning and more than I can ever imagine from these calls.
And now his mother has joined us.
Yes.
So Chris, that would be awesome if you could help us generate some ideas for best ways to create a mentorship program for young entrepreneurs. I think that's something we definitely, but what we should have, Guillaume, is now a chart, what do you call it, project plan with all these projects that we are talking about. So that definitely has
Chris,
to be put
can you
on
help
paper.
me with that?
Yeah. We could help you with that. Renata, are you in? Can we create something so we could put creating a resource, creating the good news channel, raising vibration?
Absolutely.
You know what's very
That's
funny
what we're
is-
here for. Yes, and raise our voice.
Sorry, Matt, what are you saying?
I said what's funny is the Good News channel. I have it written in my journal from 2006. Create the Good News channel.
Oh my goodness.
Go
And look where we are. Oh, awesome.
The news
I
channel.
had a vision of kind of the interview, like they're also going to the news channels later on, but that what we're creating can actually really kind of take hold as well, because it is like in its own, like it's already happening, like the momentum,
Well,
So
I
we need a working session.
Yeah.
The next session, I think, should be a working session. Don't you guys agree?
Agree.
Yeah. For production, because now we do the mastermind
Yeah.
and I take notes and then I work on it, and then like I'm not using the team as efficiently as we could. And that's a good idea, Rosa. Like a working session where we're gonna produce the work, because like we all just said, and Matt just talked about it. He had it in his notes, and that's something I've been dreaming about for a long time now as well. And Rosa, you shared it with me and Renata as well, about making the Good News channel. And I think for us social entrepreneurs or entrepreneurs, it's about our ability to turn this dream or this idea into reality. And that's where we're making the difference. It is because
Talk's cheap.
Yeah, talk's cheap. Ideas are cheap. I get like 20 new ideas for businesses every day, and like for me, it's cheap. So now that
ideas are cheap.
implement it.
With ideas, the great thing with ideas is that it's what everything that we see around us came from.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
What we need are people who execute the ideas. So
So that's what we need to be. Remember, we said we have to start kind of delegating tasks to different people.
Yeah.
So that's also part of that working meeting, to identify strengths. I think at the beginning of that meeting, that's the first thing we should do, is create a form of some kind. We don't need to do an assessment anymore. We've all been assessed out and we know our strengths. So we
everybody done their strength finder? That's an easy way to share them all.
Strength Finder is easy,
yes. Are you referring to the book, by Tom Rath?
Yeah.
Yeah, I have read that. It's actually a wonderful book. I actually have that right in front of me here.
Have you actually done the test and gotten your top 5?
Yes. So it's a wonderful book. This is
Finder
2.0 by Tom Rath. This is the one I have.
Okay.
Your top 5.
So can we do that test online free, or is that something we have to pay for?
You have to pay for it.
Yeah.
What are your top 5, Chris?
So based on it, I honestly did this test a while ago, so I'd have to remember exactly what they were. But I've just found incredible value on what he was saying, more even throughout the book, on how to identify your strengths and where they are, how you can take advantage of them more.
So
than
you
anything.
know what we'll do, Chris?
I'll interrupt on that. In the best part about the book is not the explanation. It's actually the test part, and getting to understand the things you are naturally good at that then you get to go focus all of your energy on, and then find people who are phenomenal at the other strengths that you suck at and being okay with it.
Yes.
What Guillaume is doing.
Yeah, exactly.
It's really-
Collaboration. Okay,
Yeah.
so what we'll do
Matt,
is
we're all there now. We've already been there, done that. We're all there. We're happy to have you do that and that one do. We're good.
exactly.
Yeah, but what's important there, and why Strength Finder is so valuable, in my opinion, is that it gives the 5 of us, for example, if we all share that our top 5, we get to see now amongst each other, how do we actually delegate the stuff?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So let's get Tom